Welcome back, my kindred, to Canada by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. In the 1960s, 8-year-old Valerie Miller was pulled out of school and brought to live with her father, Tom Miller, an anti-government ex-soldier and survivalist who lived off the grid. Wanting Valerie to be able to fend for herself, he began teaching her survival skills and brought in his friend Rick to instruct her in hand-to-hand combat. What new skills and alternative philosophies will Valerie learn as she turns 9 years old? Find out now as he returns to the world of darkness.
Your 9th year is ongoing, Valerie. You are training to fight with Rick, and Rick is stepping things up and teaching you new tricks. Rick, what is this new method of training now that you're advancing down the path?
We've got balance now where they're not like bought at a store or anything like that. Also, just given the time that we're in, they're probably not available. But it's basically like towels wrapped in knots around the end of a stick, and that's like the padding you get for him basically taking these swings at you. Mm-hmm. And you are basically learning to dodge and stay on your feet and stay nimble and things like that. And you've done quite well. You're also a spry 9-year-old girl. So
yeah.
The tricky part now is strength. Mm-hmm. And Rick will, amidst all the different kinds of training that we do, talking about how like turning the hip generates power for the punch and things like that. It's not just from the arm. Stepping into the punch, all of that is very important. And Rick will put on his own boxing gloves at one point and say, all right, now today, you fight me.
I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah, put your gloves on.
Oh, okay. And Valerie goes to do that. Valerie likes Rick more than her dad because her dad gets very loud and scary from time to time. And Rick seems just pretty even keel of like, did good, did bad. So this is a less scary thing than it would be if it was her dad. So she goes to get boxing gloves and she's like squared up and from the hip.
Yeah, from the hip. But that's not today's lesson. We're going to make you strong. We're going to make you tough. We're going to make you formidable.
What's that mean?
Formidable? Mm-hmm. People who are smart won't want to mess with you. And people who are dumb will learn not to mess with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like you and Dad.
Like me and your dad.
Okay.
But today's lesson is also that no matter how strong or tough or formidable you are, someone's always bigger and stronger than you.
Valerie nods like, duh, that's my whole life, you know?
Yeah, I see. You're a kid. Mm. But I mean, even when you grow up and get big and strong, someone's always stronger.
Then what do you do?
That's when you think. He's got a big boxing mitt, so kind of like big mitt against his temple. You have to get clever.
Oh, okay.
No, I've told you what to do a lot. I've instructed you.
Uh-huh.
Not today. I'm going to come at you, and I'm going to wail on you until you figure out how to stop getting hit or how to stop me from hitting you.
And Valerie's going to try to punch up right away.
All right, roll. Let's get in there. We'll take a strength and a brawl, or I would accept athletics at this point.
All right, athletics is all she's got, so I will do that. Oh no, it's a 3 and 2 ones, so it's -2 successes.
And that's how the day goes, because you hear Rick and you line up ready to hit Rick, where you're like, I'm going to ambush him mid-sentence, not ready for Rick to hit you the word before you went to swing, because Rick was setting you up the same way you were getting set up. And over the course of that day, Rick beats the crap out of you.
Yeah. There's a lot of lay down, look at trees, not want to get up.
Well, and Rick is still using Rick's expertise the way he has previously. Rick is not doing permanent damage to you. Rick is not. He'll tag you in the head enough to daze you for a second, but he's not knocking you out. He's not bruising your face. He's not breaking bones. Yeah. He's focusing more on body shots and winding you and making you really, really uncomfortable.
I think this is the first time that Valerie learned what getting the wind knocked out of you feels like. And so there's one exchange where it is just like wheezing panic on the ground.
It's okay. Breathe. You can breathe.
Just grape lady over here.
Yeah. And then you get up and he tags you in the same place again. The day continues and this becomes part of your ongoing training. And you are slowly improving. You're learning how to play when you've got you have no weight advantage. Rick has all the reach and he can get up close. But it becomes, can you get in and out and tag him once? Yep. For you, it's more a tag game than an actual doing injury to Rick game. You're not going to win this fight, but you can dodge.
Yep.
And he's pushing you to learn to find those openings. And over time, we're talking months, it starts being you actually finding those openings. Rick's not faking openings anymore. Rick's playing just as clever and as mean as possible. And he played pretty mean when he started.
Yeah.
But this is an ongoing part of your training. And your dad is taking you out on walks through the woods. He's teaching you foraging. He's teaching you what's edible and what's not. And over the course of those lessons, when your dad is teaching you, he's less turbulent than when he is in more placid moments.
Yes.
Can you roll me except wits and awareness, intelligence and awareness, or manipulation and awareness for how you would try to get a read on your dad?
I'll do wits and awareness. No successes. 1, 2, 5.
You still can't figure him out. Sometimes he is so warm and so supportive, and sometimes he is not, and you can't spot a pattern in this. But this is the year, your 9th year, when your dad brings a new friend in. He's like, all right, so it's you've been training with Rick. You've been training with me. The skill that's still not there for you right now. You don't have guns. You don't have guns at all. You don't know how to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting's good. Fighting's up close. It's necessary. Things can get ugly, but if you can shoot good, you don't ever have to get up close. And shooting levels the playing field.
Yeah, you shoot a lot of people in the army. Right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct, because then you don't have to fight them. And it levels the playing. If somebody's bigger than you,
yeah,
guns make everybody the same size to a point.
Yeah, like you and Rick.
Exactly. You put a bullet in Rick goes down if you do it the right way. You put a bullet in me, I go down. You do it the right way. But you got to do it the right way, because if it turns into a fight.
I'm small.
That's right. So we're going to make you big in one way now, and we're going to make you big in other ways later. That's why I got a new friend. And another truck pulls up. Your dad's friends all have trucks of varying models and designs. And a new friend of your father steps out. What is their name?
Maria.
Maria. Fantastic. Maria steps out of this truck. Maria is a wiry, lean, tan lady. She's got ropey muscles. We're not saying the same kind of bulk that you would see on Rick, or just the kind of powerlifting bodybuilder of a dad. We're talking lean. I'm going to say Tig Notaro-esque.
Oh, okay.
Put together. But Tig Notaro meets marathon runner.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton. Tig Notaro meets Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2. Right in the middle there. And she steps out. She's got her flatbed. She's got her aviators that she can take off. Says, Maria, this is Valerie.
Valerie is very cautious because it's new people. I never know what to expect. But seeing this lady walk out is just I want to be her. Who is this lady? What?
And Maria walks up just all confidence in the world and just puts her hand out to shake your hand.
Valerie will hesitate a moment, glance at her dad, and then glance at the hand. But
shake her hand. Maria's a certifiable badass. If you don't, that's going to be worse than doing it.
Valerie will just take her hand out and shake. Sorry, sir, ma'am. Sorry.
It's good to meet you, Valerie.
Good to meet you.
What are you sorry for?
That I didn't shake your hand right away.
Why? Why are you sorry?
Now she's looking at her dad like, oh no, I fucked this. I fucked this up. I didn't know what to do.
All right. In future, you make a decision. You go with it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Your dad's teaching you the right things.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta trust it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
One of your dad's friends shake your hand. You shake it back.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Tom, what do you got to work with?
Set it up like you wanted. It's just
All
down the dirt road there. And you travel down the road with Valerie. Tom leaves you to it because he trusts experts to teach his daughter better than he could at things he's not the best at. Tom is a grunt. He is a foot soldier. He is the jack of all trades of military skills. Rick could beat the shit out of Tom in a one-on-one fight. Tom could beat the shit out of 9 out of 10 soldiers in any combat zone. The same thing with Maria when it comes to shooting. What is the area set up like that you have custom requested? It could just be a traditional dirt shooting range with targets, but it could be anything specific that you were hoping for.
Yeah, it's not just like a straight, we're going to shoot at, individual targets. Like, that'll be part of it, but like bales of hay, there's like a broken down like truck, and it's almost it's like she's going to learn to shoot on the run right from the get-go. This is going to be like, she wants like a gun to be like an extension of her arm in the hand. It's going to be like, let's learn the coordination and everything at the beginning. Imagine you're in the fight for your life right from the get-go. So it's like...
Great.
Yeah.
What kind of gun would you start with? Would you start her with a rifle? Would you start her with a handgun?
I don't know anything about guns.
Oh, no, I understand. I mean...
Hell yeah, Laura.
Laura as a person.
I
No, this is
understand.
Maria.
Ask Maria.
This is Maria away from Tom and Rick. Hi, Valerie.
Maximum gremlin.
I don't know what I'm doing here either. Your dad's really intense. I said I knew how to hold a gun. No, I mean, I was subtly trying to suggest a few answers you could choose I would then run with for you. But I think it's a strategic question, which is you want the gun to be an extension of her arm. Is Maria the kind of person who would start with a rifle and then move to a handgun and walking? Or is Maria somebody who's like, I don't care if it's 10 feet away, I want to get you used to the gun while walking, where you're probably starting with like a 22 or the tiniest handgun possible to just be like, walk through here, shoot this. Like, is it more like sensory experience or is it more refined skill?
I think it should be the smallest gun because I want her to like learn a kind of respect for a rifle's easier to hold on to. You have to hold it secure. You have to have a firm hold on it. When something's light and small, it's much easier for it to slip, to get knocked away. And I want her to be like, this gun is part of me. So we're going to start with the lightest thing that's easiest to like lose track of, so she can very quickly learn to never let it go.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense because you equip her with this 22 caliber handgun. You're walking her through these various scenes, these various walls, these various corners. You're teaching her how to clear a room. But the strategy Maria explains to you as this is going, and you learn this over the coming days, over the coming weeks. Again, the same way you do with Rick. This is not an everyday class. This is some days you'll be staying with Maria in the cottage and Rick and your dad will be gone for 2 weeks. Some days Rick will be the guy that's there. The other two will be gone. Some weeks, nobody. Some weeks, it's just you and dad. It's very unpredictable. Your dad is more present than the other two on kind of an overall ratio scale. But you're far hardier now. You're able to go forage your own meals if you need to. You're able to go into town and steal some shit if you need to. You know the cottages in the area and you have a rough idea of like, these people don't leave their keys. We can go in, like it's a 3-hour walk, but I can go in and I kind of know how much I can take from the fridge in the off season and they won't know. and you have these things for yourself. But Maria is teaching you to clear rooms. She's teaching you how to play the angle. She's teaching you how to be smart, and she's teaching you in a way that Maria's internal philosophy is, if someone's coming at this kid with a gun, which is much more likely at this point than the kid going at them with a gun,
Yeah.
she is as equipped as possible to be at close range where fine motor coordination is not a thing. This may be a contributing factor in why Val is, generally speaking, not a sniper rifle person later
That's
in
true.
life.
Yeah.
Yes.
She has those experiences if she needs to, but that's not the specialty. You don't have to be perfect when the person is 10 feet away or 20 feet away or 30 feet away. And you go through this. And Maria also explains her general philosophy around guns, the weapon being herself, the weapon being an extension of the person, the reason you use a gun. I'd love to hear that because it's a personal philosophical thing and it's not actually about how guns work.
So Dad said that when you use a gun, everybody's the same, no matter how big you are. So that's why guns are good.
That's true. But that's only true if both the people have the same skill with the gun.
Oh.
If you've never used a gun before, you've got someone like your dad who went and fought and trained. He's going to be able, he knows how to work that gun. He can aim. He can pull it on you before you even get your safety off.
Oh. Yeah, because Dad said you gotta do it right. Otherwise.
Let me see you tie your shoes.
Valerie gets down on one knee and takes her shoelaces off and then ties her shoe back again.
All right. Now, did you have to think about every little step of that? Or have you done that a million times and could do it with your eyes closed?
Oh, yeah. I used to know the rabbit and the...
But you don't think about that anymore, do you?
No.
All right. That's how you're going to feel with a gun.
Okay.
That's how you're going to feel with every single gun. You're going to know every single gun inside and out. You're going to be able to draw it. You're going to know exactly how to hold it. You're going to know exactly how to aim it. You know, it's going to be like you're lifting up your own hand. Point your finger at me. Like it's a gun.
Valerie's like hesitating to do that because even that feels
Do it.
aggro.
Do it.
Okay.
It's just a hand.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Finger
Yeah.
gun.
You can feel that finger's in a straight line, pointed at my heart. That's perfect.
Oh. Okay.
And that's how it's going to feel with a gun.
And you'll teach me.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And she does.
Yeah.
She teaches you to shoot everything under the sun. You go to the range. You go to Maria's custom area where you're playing the angles, where targets are set up in surprising locations, where targets spring up out of nowhere as you walk through the path. Yeah. Some of them people with guns, some of them not. Some of them other kids. Some of them different like shapes and heights. Some of them spooky monsters and like Halloween ghosts and people in costumes.
And she is going to walk Valerie through different holsters through each gun. She's going to set up a workbench teach Valerie how to clean the guns, and something she's going to go through every single night before bed, and then every single morning it's going to be her routine to check her guns, to check the ammo, to make sure she knows exactly. You know, she should feel confident enough that she could point a gun with no bullets in at someone she loves, pull the trigger, and know it's not going to hurt them. Even though that's not gun safety. Don't ever do that. But this is fucking crazy Maria. So
yeah.
That's how comfortable she's going to make Valerie with those guns.
Well, and you start training also with your dad. Maria sets up the patterns. Maria is there for the first lessons, but your dad is there shooting with you every day. Your dad is there running the drills with you, and your dad is there spending the evening with you, stripping the large cache of weapons that are inside his cottage, inside the space around him, hidden in the woods in various caches, where you bring one in a night and you both disassemble and reassemble the guns. And sometimes you just get to do races to see who can do it faster and who can do it blindfolded. And those are the nights where your dad is proud of you and fun because you're doing it right. What did it feel like the first time you beat your dad in a rifle assembly race?
Yeah, I think it's maybe one of the few times that she has like laughed in the year of just like joyful like little kid laughter about having put this gun together faster than her dad.
And he laughs too. And you realize there are these moments of connection even in this where you are getting closer.
Yeah.
You are doing the morning run together. You are stripping the weapons. You are training and firing together. You are eating together.
And even Valerie's nighttime, like for a little while, even after talking to her dad, she still prayed. But now it's like there's her lamp from her grandparents and the broken necklace and a handgun. And she thinks about the pieces of the gun before she falls asleep.
Yeah. And you do. There are new prayers in the world of young Valerie Miller. And then there's your 10th birthday.
Get so big.
Grams and Grandpa are there. Rick is there. Maria is there. Your dad is there. Maria, what do you give as a birthday gift to young Valerie?
I know that the grandparents are going to be there, right?
Yes. Can you roll me? I will get from Rick and Maria. Can you both roll me a wits and etiquette?
This is social or?
This would be social.
One success.
2 successes.
Rick, you have some idea of the flavor of grandparents. Maria, you do not care that these are the grandparents. You're given the gift you give.
Maria is going to give Valerie a hunting knife with like a brown leather cover that like slides, is like meant to slide into like her jean pocket. Because when you run out of bullets, you still need a weapon. So it's another lesson in her to be like, a gun's only useful as long as you have bullets. And so this is like, must always have backup. Never rely on the great equalization of guns.
A great gift. Rick.
He rolled 2 successes. It's I think this is era appropriate. It's a Nancy Drew novel. And if you look inside, like the cover is like Nancy Drew and the Mystery of the Lighthouse or something. If you look inside, that is not at all what this book is about. This book has diagrams. This book appears to, at first glance, relay information about soft targets all over the human body. Eyes, throat, that kind of thing.
Oh,
and
what she
different
wanted.
different hand configurations for striking at soft targets. The blade of the hand, 2 fingers hooked to grip at the windpipe, that kind of thing.
And I think especially getting that, Valerie at first is crestfallen because it's like, books have been the enemy. But then glancing inside and seeing that it's that, she would just shut it right away, but be more excited about like, oh, picture book.
Rick winks.
Hell yeah.
What do your grandparents get you?
I think grandparents get her a new set of winter clothes, like a winter jacket and like a warm outfit. So that's very girly looking.
You get those. How do you alter them to be your style the next day?
Man, I think it would be like wearing the jacket inside out so that the liner is outside. And then basically making this poofy winter jacket able to hold the hunting knife in it because the pockets are facing inside now.
You make those alterations so you have some cool clothes. And your dad, at the end of the night, takes you inside and says, you know me, I'm a lesson guy. And last year I got distracted. Valerie, I'm not a very nice person.
It's silence in reply.
I'll make mistakes. swinging too hard. You need to learn these lessons. These lessons are the only way you're going to survive any of this. This isn't personal, and it's not because I don't like you. I love you, kid.
I love you, Dad.
And he's so clearly, visibly uncomfortable with this, sitting at this fire. I tried to talk to you last year about secrets. You're going to know some stuff. You're going to know more stuff as time goes on. You're going to know too much stuff. And if you believe all the shit that they tell you in school or the news or whatever, people die because they believe that shit. And they believe the things that are happening aren't real, and then they die. Or they believe they know what's going on, and they don't, and then they die. But the price of knowing those things is knowing it and not being able to share it. There's a reason for all this. There is, but I got to keep it, because if I tell you, that could hurt you, and it could hurt me. Keeping secrets protects the people we love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we don't tell Grandpa.
Exactly. And if we do tell people those secrets, if we break those words, if we reveal those things, it hurts people we care about.
No, I don't want to do that.
Exactly. And I don't want that to happen. I want you to... People don't always learn from words. We couldn't teach you to shoot with words. We couldn't teach you to fight Rick with words.
You have to practice.
You have to practice and you have to see it. Sometimes you have to see the consequences. And he reaches into the fire and he takes out a poker that he has been heating up in the fire. And he says, if you tell the secrets that you're going to one day learn from me, from anybody, there's going to be a price, and it may not be you that pays it.
What's that mean?
What it means is, if you tell secrets, bad things can happen to people that you love. And I don't want you to make that mistake without knowing it, which is why I got to show you this. Because if you were to tell the secrets, then something like this could happen. And he takes the poker and he burns it into the left forearm. And you smell the crackle and you hear him go, oh,
and she's
fuck.
up and putting her hands on his arm. No, Dad, stop.
And he takes it away. And he says,
I won't tell anyone. I won't tell any secrets.
good, you're going to remember this. If you ever doubt that this matters or that I care, remember this. And he shows the burn on his forearm. That's going to be there till the day I die. That's the lesson.
I won't let anything hurt you, Dad.
Don't let anything hurt you either. Let's take apart guns or something. Fuck. And he throws the poker into its holder by the fireplace. And the two of you go and race taking apart guns and putting guns back together.
Which is so much better. Both, like, not talking, it feels more natural because it's such a repetition. And it's also that if you can sit next to him and be close and they don't have to engage directly.
And you start, as you are now, 10, you start doing more advanced gun games and more synchronous things with your dad. You start taking apart the same gun and putting it back together and seeing if you can do it faster as two people team building. It's a game as much as it's a drill. You get so good at the drill that you can now create game versions of it. And you know Maria would give you shit for ever practicing doing a gun drill this way. Why would you ever do this? This isn't you're never going to be like, I'm going to be experienced with somebody else and we'll do the gun maintenance together is not a thing. Maria would be like, this is a waste of time. You should do it this way.
Don't trust someone else with your weapon.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you get to have that kind of fun anyways. And you are running combat drills with your dad. Only you're kind of hardened enough now that nobody's hurting you for sport. You only get hurt if you're doing something stupid or if you slack off or get lazy. You get the feeling Rick may have talked to your dad A little bit outside of this. Because your dad was always rougher and is now treating you more like Rick, which means there is fun in sparring.
Yeah.
And now on your runs, you have permission to randomly attack him, which does add a certain bit of fun to the sport of doing the run, doing the shooting drills, going through. There's just a lot more camaraderie in your life for the first time between you and Maria and you and Rick and you and your dad and all of the above. And you can see, yeah, your dad is still abrasive. There are nights where it gets fucking dark and you know that you have to simultaneously stay close to like know what's going on. And it's that battle to stay far enough back that you don't get drawn in or physically hit or any of that, but close enough that you're not getting surprised.
Yep.
Because you don't want him coming around a corner in that mood and finding you.
Yes.
But you get that sense of camaraderie. The idea of Rick being like, it's not about friends all the time. But sometimes it still feels like friends.
Yeah. Sometimes it is exhilarating and can be joyful to be physically active and be amongst these people who she wants their esteem.
And you like the outside.
Yes.
You like the outside all day. And you get to be outside all day with big, strong, scary people who are teaching you how to be scary and protecting you. And there is a rare night where everyone is together. Rick is here, Maria is here, your dad is here, you are there. There was a hunt. You successfully brought down the buck. It was a competition between Maria and you and your dad who all went out into the woods, and you got the kill. Rick's not really a hunting guy, but you got the kill and brought it back, and everybody's been served and eaten a bunch, and you're sitting around a fire outside of the cabin, and the three adults are drinking. Would you drink?
I don't think
this would be moonshine shit. This is not beer. They're drinking like it's distilled. Rick brought it. It's good stuff for its purpose of you almost going blind and getting very drunk. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think she'd be enjoying the fire and is just like a happy 10-year-old kicking her feet and enjoying that. But to her, alcohol equals dad smells bad and is angry. So I don't think she would want to. Like, she would not offer up wanting to partake in this. So just like, no. And also it's the tension of like, yeah, everyone's here and together. And I'm like, I hope everyone doesn't get big and angry because they're drinking.
Yeah, I think this would be the rare... roll me a wits and awareness.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. You don't think anybody would hurt you in this circumstance.
Okay.
You don't think anybody's going to lash out. Rick would stop your dad from doing anything stupid. Your dad would stop Rick from doing anything stupid. And you don't think Maria, under any circumstances, would do anything stupid.
Maria is the coolest.
Maria has shown zero violent tendencies towards people here.
Yeah.
She will scare you or startle you to teach you a lesson. She's like, that's well within her wheelhouse if she thinks it's worth, like, you got sloppy, you need to be startled so you remember this lesson to not repeat it. But she's never backed that up with physical violence. Guns are designed to kill people, not hurt people.
Yeah.
So she's not here to try to teach you to hurt people with guns. That's not the lesson.
Makes sense.
But you were here around this fire, and it has hit the point where there are a lot of stories being told. There are clearly details being left out for the, at this point, 10-year-old sitting around the fire. But way fewer details, and not the details you would expect for generally combat veterans discussing things around a 10-year-old. And there are a lot of jokes being told. There are a lot of old memories being thrown around. And it drifts maudlin towards the end of the night, where you realize the weight. There's just a weight there. It's not fully contextualized for you, but you are in a world where they talk a lot about death.
Yes.
And a lot about it in a way that's clear that when they're telling you somebody died that way, it's not abstract.
Yeah.
These
and
are
I
experiences.
just saw a deer die. So I have very good context for how heavy that is.
Yeah. So it ends up almost going around the circle. And everyone sharing their darkest moment, almost unfiltered. Because the alcohol has taken them there. The conversation has taken them there. It is a circle of trust in an almost twisted familial way. Maria, can you tell the story you would tell of this dark moment? I'm not saying you have to reveal everything. I'm just saying, like, this is Maria's darkest moment as she would tell around this fire.
You guys remember that job in Arizona, 62? I've been scared a lot. That's something you're going to learn, Valerie. You're going to get scared. You're going to learn how to fight anyways. Your training kicks in. But I have never been as scared as I was that night. I didn't change my fucking watch when we crossed the time zones. Had those fucking sunset, sunrise charts. And I was an hour fucking off.
Yeah, it'll get you.
Fuck.
I remember. Yep. And Rick will take another big swig. And Rick does not get drunk like your dad. Mm-hmm. Rick gets sad. And withdrawn. He doesn't talk more. He talks a lot less. And he's been, if you're clocking this for how people are with their booze and things like that, it seems like the more he drinks, the more he seems to look at you from across the fire and like just like boring a hole into your head, kind of just with his eyes. And finally, this time, you know, you're looking at him look at you, and he just says, Valerie, you remind me of someone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Who? She's looking at her dad like, okay.
You remind me of my boy.
Oh.
My little Sam. He'd be 15 now.
Oh.
But you remind me of him a little bit.
He would be.
He would. He's dead.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Turns out another job we didn't do the whole job. There were survivors.
Yeah.
And those survivors found out where me and my boy lived. Mm-hmm.
That's why the training is important.
Yeah. That's the night I found out I wasn't the strongest or the fastest.
Oh.
There's always going to be someone stronger, and if you're not ready, he'll stand up and raise his jug and to Sam.
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 Yeah, you can't. It's the moments where you think you're safe. It's always the moments where you think you're safe. And you can think you're safe in some crazy goddamn situations. In the jungle. During the daytime. The bad times. In the jungle at night. Every other unit fucking terrified. Not us. Not me. Not me in particular. Just if there's a devil in the jungle. The devil in the jungle was friendly. Devil in the jungle. The demon wandered through just flashes. Just flashes. We make contact. Devil comes to visit. devil comes to visit the other side, they don't make it out. We wander through. We get orders to clear a bunker, and the bunker's just cleared. Just cleared. Nobody gets hit. Sniper in the tree, he must have fallen. Pit trap, somebody set it off. It's open. VC in it. Doesn't make any sense. Then I think I'm invincible. I think I'm fine. I got a guardian angel. The devil's on our side. The devil's on our side, and then you just get that night. That night where it all goes too far, and you're there, and you look at what's happening. You're going into combat, and you're like, we're fine, and then the devil ain't on your side no more. The devil, he flips, he moves, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. The enemy, your unit, there's just blood. Not enough of it and too much of it at the same time. And you can look the devil in the face. Some of us have. All of us have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The devil ain't on our side. And the devil's real. So we know. And we're going to do our best, but I don't know if we can save you, kid.
At this point, Valerie is shaking. It's like the fire is hot and her feet and legs are hot, but it just feels like there's even more secrets around that she doesn't know. And even starting with Maria and then going around, it's like the fact that these people are scared of something feels very scary, because these are the people that like she looks up to and are supposed to protect her. So them being scared just makes her feel this like hazy miasma of like, I don't know what to be afraid of, but I'm afraid now.
And there's this moment of just sadness, fear, a miasma of loss, tragedy, the human cost of conflict. And like so many of these moments, there's no relieving button on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no declaration of like, oh, it's time for us all to go do this thing. There's no switch. Instead, you all just find yourself sitting in this moment. And without a word, people just drift away until it's you, Valerie, and your dad sitting in this. And he says, I don't know if I can save you, but I'll wreck myself trying.
Dad.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say anything to anybody when everyone was telling scary stuff. I didn't say what scared me.
Yeah, what are you scared of, kid?
You getting hurt.
Yeah. We're getting you ready for that day.
I'm not Sam.
No, and you fucking won't be. You fucking won't be. I swear to nothing. Devil's real and the gods shit. There's nothing there. All the bad stuff is true and all the good stuff is a lie. But I swear to you and to me and to Rick and Maria and all the people fighting the good fight, you're not going to be Sam.
And Valerie will get up and sit down just next to her dad so she can kind of just lean against his arm and sit there.
And he'll pull you into a hug. And he's almost muttering to himself until he passes out in this chair next to the fire that's burning bright.
And she just sits up and sits looking at the fire. Like, it's not, she's known about fire safety. It's like, it's not safe to leave a fire in the middle of the woods and no one watches it. So she just stays up and watches this fire.
Yep. And you make sure the fire is safe. And you have your dad's arm around you. And you have a lot of time to sit in the dark and think about the things that you've heard.
This episode of Canada by Night features the voices of Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, and Laura Hamstra, alongside storyteller Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. Canada by Night's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. Canada by Night is a spin-off of the Dum Dums and Dice series Blood and Syrup. If you want to hear about what happened to Everett before he came to New Haven, look for Blood and Syrup anywhere podcasts can be found. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, my kindred. Sleep well in this world of darkness.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.